Hello and welcome to another World of Warplanes video with me, Sir 10 Death. Let's have a bit of a change today and look at a heavy fighter. Now I have intentionally avoided doing some heavy fighters for quite some time for a reason. And that's because I am not very good at them. I'm much more of a turn and burn fighter player or bomber player, and I'm not very good at these, but I am keen to get better, and I have been taking tips and advice from others in my comments and in places like Reddit on how to improve, and I've started now trying to get a bit better at this, and today we'll have a look at this one. It's the Messerschmitt BF-110B, a German tier 4 heavy fighter, and hopefully I'm going to show, as always, some gameplay footage that shows off what this can do and what it can't do so well, and discuss its stats and its strengths and weaknesses along the way. Now, I openly concede there are a lot of people out there who are much better heavy fighter players than me, and I was criticised a short while ago for my, frankly speaking, very wrong review of the French SE-100, and I've since gone back to that and had quite a few good games in it myself, so now that I'm learning how I should be playing it a bit better, I'm starting to enjoy heavy fighter play, to be honest. And this game here then, we're going to have a look at it and see what this plane's all about. So, let's talk about this plane then. The thing is about heavy fighters, they tend to be the stark opposite of your traditional light fighters in the sense that they are bigger, heavier armoured, bigger guns, but much more slow. Well, not slow, but much more slow in the turn, much less manoeuvrable, should I say. So, this one here then, the BF-110B, it's got 300 hit points at tier 4, which is quite nice, because most light fighters and the likes will have about 160 or 180. So, having 300 gives you a little bit of room for error, but of course you're a big target, which means it's easier for those anti-aircraft guns to hit like they're doing right now. And let's see what we're doing. Let's go to work with this thing. So, in the past, what I had done wrong with my heavy fighters was I'd be trying to turn and get on the back of these guys now like a light fighter, but of course you can't do this in a plane like this. So what I've done there is put some shots into them as I'm going towards them, strafe them with those forward guns, then drop into my rear gunner seat and put a bit more damage on them, then go well past them before I turn around so I can get another run at them again. Now, I still could be doing things wrong. I'm very much learning the trade of the heavy fighter, but I think I'm starting to get a bit more of a handle on it now. And I have had a bit more success. I don't consider myself a great HF player yet, but I'm getting more success by starting to use this idea of zooming up to people, boom, and then zoom away, and then or use the rear gunner to put a bit of extra damage on them. So, yeah, it's got 300 hit points. Its manoeuvrability rating is 29. Unsurprisingly, this is not a manoeuvrable plane at all. You can see this right now. It's turning something like a train does. It's really, really big, slow, lumbering beast to get turned round. So, I am just trying a few things out here. I'm looking at whether these guns are effective against ground targets. I know that this is not the primary role of a heavy fighter, but I am testing the plane and trying things out and letting you see what it can and can't do. So I'm just deliberately heading towards this target here and just trying to shoot the ground target, see what I can do. And also getting a feel for how it zips across the ground. It goes pretty fast, and that can be a problem when you're used to somebody who can turn quickly. If you've got a combination of speed but low manoeuvrability, it's quite easy to accidentally hit the ground or fly in the mountains and the likes. And I have done this a few times, not in this plane, but in other heavy fighters when I've been learning to play them a bit better. So you have to make much more allowances for things around you. It's been shot down there by the AA guns, so I'm not too worried about that. I was just trying the plane out and done next to nothing so far. The review's looking pretty terrible, but let's just hang in there and see what happens as we keep watching as I get into this game some more then. So I mentioned its manoeuvrability rating of 29, which is poor. Its turn is 16 seconds, which is pretty awful. Not the worst in the game, but it's not good on the whole. It's going to take a while to turn around. Its best performance happens at altitude of about 1700 meters, a bit higher than where I am right now, and that's why it's perfect for doing what I'm doing right now. I'm going to go hunting down this bomber. Heavy fighters, one of their primary roles is getting rid of any sort of high-level aircraft, bombers and the likes. And we've got ourselves a Blenheim 4 over here, who on the enemy team, and I'm going to go and see if I can get rid of him, if I can. So, speed-wise, well, when you're not boosting with this thing, it's pretty quick. It'll go along around 400 there, about kilometers per hour. When you upgrade the engines, that'll go about 420, 430, which is a little bit better. And when we can finally get up to this bomber and get the guns on target, we can just knock them out of the sky in no time at all. Now I have got myself a bit of company up here, so I'm just going to see what else I can do. So, This is somebody, what you really shouldn't do is go head to head with a heavy fighter in a multi-role, because yeah, that's what happens. The forward guns in this can cut things up, and I've already got myself a couple of kills here. There's another example of see, if I hadn't turned as early as I did to the ground and used the flaps, I would have flown straight to the ground there. You've got to really make allowances for what's going on around you. Let's talk about those guns then. When you get the plane as stock, it's okay. It has itself two 20mm cannons and four 7.92s, which are okay. That's not bad. The two 20s can and should, of course, be upgraded to two other 20s, which are a bit more damaging and with a slightly longer range. It goes from 580 meters up to 600 meters. And you also have you've got a rear gunner there who's got himself a 7.92 machine gun, which can be upgraded as well to a better 792 as well. So yeah, it's all pretty good from stock. You can play this and you can enjoy this, and I'm just starting to get used to this heavy fighter play. This is food and drink to a heavy fighter. When you've got somebody who's on a very low hit point and you can just close in on them, it literally takes a click of the mouse button and they just vaporize. They're gone out of there. It's very good for mobbing. But I've only hit 3,000 combat points, and if you're watching this and you are a heavy fighter player, you're probably thinking, why is this guy even showing this video off? Well, yeah, I'm showing off because people want to probably see what this can and can't do. It is good in terms of its guns and its hit points, but pretty poor in terms of its maneuverability and getting around the place. Other things I haven't mentioned yet so far, this does have, when stock, it has no external ordnance on the plane at all, but you can, for a couple of thousand experience, unlock the ability to put on two 250-pound bombs on here as well, so it can serve a sort of additional purpose as well. So just past the 4,000 combat points, got the grade 4 fighter award, and I'm just looking for targets like this that are just fairly low hit points, just mop them up, because those 20mm cannons are just going to just take him apart, tear him down there. And I'm on nearly the 5,000 now. In terms of the game, we're quite well behind the enemy. It's looking like it's not going to go our way, but you know, it's never all over till the fat lady sings, so to speak. Once again, we've just taken this ground attack plane from full hit points down to slightly over half. We've taken probably about a third of them off in one pass. Now I'm having to make a full turn again. Somebody else has done some damage on him, and I can just mop up again. Click of the mouse, he's gone. So would I recommend this? Well, I have to say I probably would, actually, because I am only very much dipping my toe into the wonderful world of heavy fighter play, and I'm starting to get to grips with how to play these beasts, and it's a whole different style of play to light fighter play, but I like it. I like how I should be playing these, and I am open to suggestions, and I am happy to concede that there are people out there who are much better than I am. And I'm going to go head to head now with this guy and just check out what happens. Yeah, that's what happens. If you go in a ramming contest, you can ram things. Now actually we knocked each other out, which is not too bad. I was just curious there whether I would have survived it or not, whether this plane would be better than the Blenheim F in a ramming contest. And not something I'd recommend trying all of the time, but there are certainly times when it's viable, particularly against light fighters. You can just ram into them and take them down. So the squall line's down now. I've just respawned, and our team are quite well behind. We've just passed the half superiority, but the opposition are well about 3/4 thereabouts. So it's looking like it's going to be a defeat. But when the squall line has come down, now's the time when you go look for people like this and just go goodbye. See you, you're out of the game now. So I've passed 6,500 combat points. There's another one on low hit points here. If you can mop up these guys now, they're not going to respawn, and you can give your team a better chance of winning. It's still quite hard to turn it around when they're this far ahead. But looking at this, we've knocked nearly half their team out of the sky. Now there's this bomber. Now this bomber's quite far above me, so I'm having a boost to try and get up there. And I've also spotted that same Blenheim F that just rammed me. Looks like he wants more. Oh no. This time he's not playing chicken, he's banked off. Now I've got two to deal with here, and another one on the mini-map heading my way as well. So I really want to try and get rid of the bomber, and that's because he is capable, if this goes down the wire, he's capable of going up to a much higher altitude and probably winning by just staying out of the way. Just jump in the tail gunner, see if I could put some shots onto the Blenheim. I've got him behind me, I've got the bomber in front of me. I'm now going to have to focus on this heavy fighter because the bomber is going to get away from me. You can see my wings have taken quite a bit of damage here. I'm struggling, I've taken a bit of a hit. I haven't actually got any repair kits on this at the moment. I tend not to always run them on low tier tech tree planes, possibly I should. Yeah, my mistake. Alright, so I managed to get all the way around and get on the tail of the Blenheim again. Let's see if we can just... he's coming around my way now. and it looks like he wants another ramming contest. Now this time I probably should have got out of the way because I knew what happened the last time, but the game's almost over. I was hoping if I survived that. Just cut to the end plates. I did finish top on my team, just under 9,000 combat points, and yeah, what do we get? We got Flames in the Sky, got a grade 4 fight, I got ourselves first class. Sorry, I stopped recording the video before it went back to the hangar, so I haven't actually got the hangar shots and can't show how much money it actually made. But as heavy fighters go, it's quite easy to get this one. The one before is the Focke-Wulf 57, and that's quite nice to play. I have done a review of that. Yeah, check it out. I'm still very much learning heavy fighter play, and I will improve my way of playing these, and I will keep the videos coming as I head down those lines in the tech trees as well. As ever, thanks very much for watching. I will be keeping the videos coming. Cheers now. Goodbye.